Welcome, everybody, to the
I'm Fat Podcast.
Snacks are best saved for later.
With Jay Zawoski.
That man ate all our shrimp and 2 plastic lobsters.
And Rick Camp.
Out the mist came a beast more stomach than man.
Welcome into another edition of the I'm Fat Podcast, brought to you by our sponsors, Charlie the Bacon Guy, Mazda of Orland Park, Frato's Culinary Kitchen, and Nick and Ivy Brewing. I am Rick Camp alongside fellow fat Jay Zawoski, and Jay, it's another Sunday. We're 2-0.
Rick, you muted your mic somehow. I don't know what happened. Your
Are
mic
you
got
serious?
muted. No, now you're back.
What did I do?
I don't know. What happened?
I don't know. I am so tired of our goddamn technical issues that have been like basically all on my end that I don't understand that.
Well, it sounded like you had a good joke lined up. You said, we're 2-0, and then that's the last thing I heard.
What would you think the answer would be?
The Bears are not.
Yes, that was it.
That would be my guess. I wasn't even lip reading. I just figured that was the natural progression of the joke. We're not going to waste your time talking Bears this week because why would we? They've wasted enough of your time, and we're not going to join the party. But we want to thank you for being with us. We always appreciate it. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button for us and subscribe to the channel. YouTube.com/I'mFatPodcast. We need subscribers. We've been asking. We need 130 of you to subscribe this week. 130. It shouldn't be that hard. Please, please, please get it done. Take a screenshot of your subscription, and once we hit 1,000, I will randomly select 2 people to win $100 to Nick and Ivy Brewing and an I'm Fat Podcast t-shirt of their choice. So let's go. Let's do this. Let's get over that 1,000 hump. I think we're at 871.
Okay.
So
we need a subscription montage.
We need a ton. We need a lot. Let's do it. We can do this. We need you. Step it up. Help us out in that way. Other ways to help out. You can tip us on Twitter, which is what Bill G did. And I want to thank him for his generous tip this week. Just a tip. We've got our Patreon, patreon.com/I'mFatPod. And we've got our merch place, I'mFatMerch.com, powered by our friends at TeePublic. Social media, we're at I'mFatPod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And we've got the fan page on Facebook as well. I'm Fat Podcast Fans Group on Facebook.
We might need a hard reboot after this one.
Well, the Bears have done this to us, man. I've drank a beer just getting right. I'm stone cold Steve Austining beers over here because I can't. I'm so you and I talked for about 45 minutes before the show about the Bears. So
Yep.
Let's talk about some fun stuff, including we got some breaking news from our Culver's Insider.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go. You know it, buddy. Guess what's coming back in October?
Well, Oh,
yeah.
The Curter Burger?
The Curter Burger is back in October.
Let's go.
I can't wait. It's so good. It's so bad for you.
Oh, yeah.
And
yes.
I've been having some moments lately where I'm like, man, I really got to start eating just a little bit better. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's the weather getting cooler, but all I want to do is eat all the time.
Yes.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Is it just this time of year?
No, I'm there. I also had moments like that because today, in the progression of moving things over from one place to another, you have to try clothes on to see if they're still viable. That will put you in your place. And you know what that place is? A bigger place. And you know what's going to continue to make that continue? The Curter Burger, and I'll be happy about it.
So it says it's back and cheesier than ever. So it looks like there's more cheese in the cheese patty. If you've not had the Curter Burger, shame on you, first of all.
Right.
This is your traditional Culver's burger, but instead of a slice of cheese, it is a burger patty shaped mozzarella stick. Or I guess curd, right?
Yeah. Like think of the loose sausage patty, but in cheese curd form. That's what this is.
That's what it is. Exactly. So that's back, I think, from I think I saw it was October 2nd till Halloween. So pick some up on Halloween and throw them in kids' bags. Trick or treat.
Why are cardiologists running to Culver's?
It's weird. But it's back. That's great news. If you've not had it, I know a lot of places make these things that are designed to get conversation going. Like we talked about last week with the Malort and Ranch thing from Noon Whistle.
Yeah.
They're not actually trying to make it appetizing.
Right.
The Curder Burger is surprisingly good.
It is really good.
Yeah.
It's is it kind of gimmicky? Sure. In structure, but is it still a really good burger?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is. It's very good. So get that. Thanks to our Culver's Insider for the scoop. So now you know, October 2nd through the end of the month, the Curder Burger will be there. And I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I have already drank a Miller High Life, and I have got my new my Pepsi Zero Sugar. So I'm going to be like the podcast version of Hubarkish, where I just burp through the entire segment. So we can do a burp count if you want. If you want to keep tabs, Rick, of how many times I had to stop to do this.
Yep.
Mid podcast.
It's to lower the number of burps, you have to raise the number of chins.
Yeah. Well, you can't see it. I got the beard. The strategically cut beard, so you can't see my many, many chins.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's kind of the same way.
Yeah, it's good. It's by design.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to. I don't want to show off my double chin. That's like when I shave. I'm like, oh god. Yeah. I forgot.
Yeah, I've had there have been moments where I joke about just going clean shaven again, and it's the summation of Sam's response is essentially, "How about no?" Which
Too much face.
Right, which is the proper response, because I look like Peter Griffin when he loses his glasses.
Hey, it's good that she's honest with you.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't want her. Hope is always like, "Oh, you're cute when you." I'm like, no, I'm not. No,
right.
I'm not cute. Don't lie.
Right.
Did you just counter burp?
Yes, I did.
I muted my mic for it at least. That was a loud one.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I could tell. There was you could damn near see the bubble work its way up.
Yeah. Well, I'll try to lay off the Pepsi throughout the show, but no problem. I'm out of Prime. I got to go. I'm going shopping tomorrow. I got to stock up on my Prime. So
now, one thing that I had this week that probably should have given me the burps, but maybe I just eat so many things of this variety that it just didn't. Tried a new place on lunch. Went to Three Corners Grill and Tap. That's at 7231 Lamont Road in Downers Grove, because that's not confusing.
I have been to this.
You
place.
have?
Three Corners is great.
Yeah. So I hadn't been. The guys I was with, well, I guess I'll just do a quick mention, because I don't think it's that big of a deal for me to just quickly mention. I have full-time employment now. Thank God. So it's something we've been mentioning. I've been meaning to mention, because it's been for a couple weeks, but just haven't I don't know. It's not directly in the industry. So for a lot of people, it's a big who cares, but hey.
Now we would like to give a warm welcome to our governor, J.B. Brisker. Let's make some noise.
All right, congratulations.
That's always going to be funny. Yeah. So now I have a 9 to 5 working at the IBEW Local 1220, which is the union that the score producers are part of. So got accustomed to it there. It's like a union local that is for broadcasters primarily, and so it's kind of a logical fit. And I know just from getting to know everybody, and obviously the other rep there is Brett Lyons, who those are longtime score people, probably remember the name. And so so it's been a couple weeks. It's good, and we go out for food every day for lunch. Well, so there's plenty of opportunities
with you and Brett and John Rizzo. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are going to be taking down some apps and zerts.
Dude, Rizzo is the smallest dude of the three of us. That is... it's the thing. It is... Yeah, it's absolutely a thing. When the three of us go out, they're like Rizzo's like, we should send you in first because you look best. I'm like, oh God,
Good Lord.
that is right. Talk about low bars, Christ. So
Anyway,
anywho,
Three Corners.
I was out with Brett and Rizzo at Three Corners, and they got. So let's go to what they got first because I think this looks really cool. They got the Monte Cristo, which is obviously famous in our parts.
Yes.
The Monte Cristo.
French
But look
toast,
at
grilled
that
cheese,
thing.
and ham sandwich.
Yes, exactly. So that thing, it doesn't just look like a sandwich. It almost looks like a Monte Cristo burrito.
Or a Monte Cristo egg roll.
Yes, that's better. And like those guys rave about that thing. Like they were talking about not going to Three Corners. They were talking about going to get the Monte Cristo. And then I found out where exactly we were going. So, and the tots were well done, like properly done tots, very good tots. I did not try the Monte Cristo because I didn't want to infringe on their experience, but they rave about it. So if you are someone that loves a Monte Cristo, that thing looks awesome. And they say it tastes incredible. So that's a great option. And then I got the Bacon Q burger, which is really right up my alley. So on this burger, you have bacon. You have, now, not my favorite way to use the onion ring, but like a jumbo onion ring. Mm-hmm. I would have much rather had the, like onion straws or something like that.
Sure.
Barbecue sauce and provolone. Provolone, the different cheese choice, I'm here for it. Usually it's some form of cheddar, but getting the provolone gave it that little different twist, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like something I would absolutely get again. We also got nachos, like pulled pork nachos, which were fantastic. And I'm trying to think of did we get anything else? No, we were there for only an hour. How could well, an hour, maybe an hour and change, who's to say? But no, it was really good. I liked the vibe in there, and like place that is certainly in the rotation for for lunchtime for us.
All right, so I have been to Three Corners. I have actually been to the one in Lamont, which is at a three-corner intersection. That's why it's originally called Three Corners. And I always get the same thing I got the first time I went there, the sweet and spicy burger.
That one stuck out to me too.
Dude, it's pepper jack, fried jalapenos, and bacon drizzled with clover honey. So it's like a sweet but not overly sweet honey.
Yeah.
And then just get that with the tots, and it is killer. Like,
Yes.
yeah, Three Corners is great. When Hope and I lived in Lamont, we went there all the time. Now it's a little bit more of a journey for us to go there.
Sure.
But I don't think we've ever had a bad experience. They've got the Hope always gets the baked mac and cheese from there, and you can add bacon, chicken, whatever you want.
Nice.
There's one. Really solid. Really solid stuff. Three Corners is great.
Yes, so that's a great option for people that want to. And I'm not the biggest like nachos as an app, just because it seems like it's a race against time.
Yeah.
With with the chips, but these were really good, and they also left quickly because it was the three of us.
Yeah, you guys aren't going to make anything last too long. Yeah, that place is. It is bar food, and I hate the term elevated because it makes it sound like it's fancy. It's not fancy. It's all just really solid.
Exactly.
Everything on the menu is good. Mm-hmm. So yeah, don't hesitate to go there. So let me see the locations just so we can steer people right.
For the Lamont one.
Yeah, there's Downers Grove is 75th and Lamont Road. Lamont is at the it's Archer, Derby, and McCarthy. That's the Three Corners. New Lenox, I've been to this one too. This one is on Lincoln and Marley Road in New Lenox. So those are your three. And they're very similar because we went to the one in New Lenox after one of Addie's softball games this summer. Mm-hmm. And it was very much like the same experience. So
nice.
Yeah, any of those Three Corners locations, you're good to go. You are golden. It's awesome. It's really good stuff. Well, yesterday I went to a place I've been a million times. And finally, I talked about it last week, how we tried to go to Roseangela's with Brian and Sarah.
Yeah.
And they were closed. So we finally just made the plan. We went yesterday. So they had their first in-person Roseangela's dining experience. They loved it. Their daughter is not like the biggest fan of pizza. It's fine. We'll fix it later. But she ordered I've never seen anyone order this from Roseangela's before. I didn't even know they offered it because I always just get traditional tavern style.
Was it a salad?
No, it was a pizza with olive oil, ricotta, and is that it? Basil.
Okay.
And I was like, this is not a traditional Southside Evergreen Park pizza. So
Yeah.
I wasn't even sure if they made something like that, and they did, and it was
Sure.
really excellent. So who knew? But I got my traditional sausage pizza. Hope got hers with the green pepper and onion, and then Brian and Sarah got theirs with the pepperoni. Got to get the order of fries to go with the pizza. That's an essential anytime you go to Roseangela's. But here's where Brian blew my mind. He ordered a little side of Giardiniera to put on his pizza. When it was gone, he took the little empty sauce cup and dumped it on his plate, and then put Parmesan in the Giardiniera oil.
Oh.
And then dipped it almost like when you get the olive oil and Parmesan at a restaurant.
Yes.
He did it with the Giardiniera oil and Parmesan and dipped his pizza in it and said it was amazing. So, yes.
That is well done.
I know. I tipped my cap to him. I'm like,
that's good.
that's going on the pod. That is absolutely going on the podcast. And I didn't get to try any of it because it was by the time I realized what he was doing, it was gone. We were in a pretty small booth. It was seven of us in a pretty small booth. So it was like, we're reaching around trying to see our pizzas. Like, it was very crowded, but we wanted to sit down and eat.
Hey, maybe we're ass to ankles back here. Can you pop up on your cousin's lap?
Right. But they loved it, and it was very good, and that was an inspired move by Brian, that's for sure. And then I had to get the big boy beef sandwich to bring home for today. That's what made the bear's pain slightly less painful, was eating and the big boy from Rosie's is probably, like 10-inch? So I cut it in half. I'm saving the rest for dinner tomorrow because I had some leftover pizza to eat too.
Okay.
So
I was going to say there better be something else because, well, there's no great way to say this, but 5 inches of beef just isn't enough.
Oh, damn it. Well, she lied to me all these years.
Right? Hey, who are you telling?
I appreciate the lie, though. It makes me feel better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, but it is always terrific. And then they got a cannoli and they got some tiramisu for dessert. I'm like, boy, you guys are exploring this menu like I've never explored it before. I get in here, I'm like, pizza, fries, the occasional mott stick, and let's go. I'm like, I can't vouch for the desserts. I have no idea if they're good or not. So they seem to like them. So there you go.
Actually, another one of your usual haunts came up this week because Sam had a meeting in the city. So she went to JP Graziano's.
Oh.
And
what day was that?
I don't remember.
I think I went there Wednesday.
It might have been Wednesday, actually. So she was there, and outside of like fantastic sandwich, she came home with like the mild Giardiniera seasoning like thing. That is, I saw that and I was like, oh my God.
Put that on everything.
Yeah.
Put it on your pizza, put it on your pasta. Like, honestly, I've put it on popcorn before. That shit is awesome. It's so good.
So we haven't utilized it as of yet because we haven't had like a meal that would make much sense for it as of yet, but it will be used. And I'm sure once I get that first taste, it will be in heavy rotation.
Oh, yeah. So the other thing, like, I told you, like, we make French bread pizzas all the time. We'll get, like, day old bread from Jimmy John's, or we'll just go get, like, a loaf of French bread. And I'm super heavy. I love oregano. Oregano is, like, my favorite thing. So I
love it.
We get usually the, I think it's Pastorelli is the name of the sauce company. So sauce, then I cover that with oregano, then cheese, sausage, more oregano. I've added the dimension to it with the JP Graziano Giardiniera seasoning.
Nice.
And it's great. And what I'm going to try next time is I bought their muffaletta spread because I don't like the Giardiniera, like big crunchy Giardiniera. It's a texture thing for me. But the muffaletta is like a diced, like it's very, very small, like almost like a relish.
Yeah.
And I get that on my sandwich instead. I might put that on my pizza next time. That can't be bad.
Here's something that I did when this week I got a beef. But like the meat was piled so high, I didn't want to put on the Giardiniera and like risk it falling off and all that stuff.
Sure.
Pour the juice. Just like pour because it was like, the little like side to go container thing.
Yeah.
Of sauce. And I just kept pouring the juice over each bite. I'm telling you, you get that flavor.
It gets done.
It gets the job done. If you're in a situation where you either can't make a mess or it's like mine where I'm like, there's no way this won't make a giant mess. Just go with that and you're set.
By the way, did I mention last week the pizza I had at my fantasy draft? It was we drafted on Labor Day, so Roseangela's was closed. Give one more beep. So we had to get me and my family. We did the Zawoski football draft. So my uncle got Baracos, but he got Italian beef pizza with Giardiniera. Oh, this Italian beef as a pizza topping is kind of a newer sort of thing.
It's a newer type of situation.
Yeah,
it's like a 3 technique.
It always kind of blew my mind, but man, every time I have it, I like it more and more. Mm-hmm. It's like nice little slices of beef, just like kind of laid like right under the cheese, over the bread, and then you add that Giardiniera element into it, and it's like baked in. Oh,
yeah,
that was killer and like legitimately spicy.
Yeah,
that was good stuff.
So Giardiniera on pizza is something I've done before. I haven't done the Giardiniera with beef. I haven't done Italian beef at all. But my brother Casey, one day when I was like at my mom's and we were getting pizza, he's like, hey, can we do, because me and him both like pepperoni. Mm-hmm. My brother Shane is more sausage and my mom will kind of do whatever. So Casey's like, hey, how about pepperoni and Giardiniera? I wanted to give it a spin because he liked it. And I was like, sure, let's go. And I was like, oh, this is like, talk about spicy too. Like you get a good spicy pepperoni and then it was like hot Giardiniera on top of it. Oh, buddy. Yeah,
that's good. It's so good. It's funny because I'm we talked about this last week a little bit where we get set in our ways.
Sure.
And like what do you get on your pizza? Sausage. That's what I've always gotten. That's what I'll always get.
Pepperoni.
Like I realized yesterday when Brian ordered a pepperoni pizza from Roseangela's, I'd never had their pepperoni.
Wow.
I've been going there since the day I was born. Since I grew teeth enough to eat pizza, I've been going to Roseangela's, and I've never had their pepperoni because my dad ordered sausage.
And when you held out on letting the next teeth come through.
Yeah, exactly. We just always have been sausage. So why would I stray from it?
Sure.
And I will say, I've tried the pepperoni, and I think I really think that what makes Roseangela's great is their sausage pizza. Their sausage is amazing. Mm-hmm. And for me, like if you were to hand me a slice of that pizza with pepperoni, I might not have known it was from Roseangela's.
Okay.
Because I think their sausage is that like different and specific to them that I could identify that like anywhere. So
their sausage above replacement is better than their pepperoni above replacement.
Yeah, I mean,
not saying it's bad by
no,
any
I know.
stretch,
I just don't know how different can your pepperoni be, right? Like you can make a sausage mix in house.
True.
And with pepperoni, it's harder to do that. You got to kind of buy it from somebody.
Okay, so I think we agree Lou's has the best pepperoni.
I don't like Lou's sausage. It's too garlicky.
Yeah. But like their pepperoni is also fantastic. And I feel like I taste a difference on their like the pepperoni that they have wherever they get it from versus a vast majority of the pepperoni out there.
I agree with that. And I think theirs is a bit smokier. Don't you think so? Like it's a little more of a spicy smoky than a sweet.
Which makes sense because the sauce is sweeter a little bit. So like it balances out what they do with everything else.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I think that just as I think Lou's pepperoni makes it proprietary and of course the butter crust. Yeah. The sausage is really what makes Roseangela's great. But it could just be, it's almost hard for me to judge them because I've been going there for 45 years.
Yeah.
Like I can't, it's just my place. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if anyone else that we've taken there said like, well, this is my new favorite go-to spot. Yeah. I think once you have your go-to spot, it's your go-to spot for life.
Yeah, for me, it's growing up. It was Pal Joey's in West Chicago, and that's still great too. I'll get it every once in a while, and it's really good. Like it's like I want pan pizza. I'm going to Pal Joey's. It's just the best pan out there.
Yeah. You're saying pan or Pam?
Pan.
There's a D on the end. There's no D. It's Pam.
Pam.
They don't make movies like that anymore, by the way. Old Man Corner.
No, they don't.
They don't. It's BS. I'm looking around desperately for my Nick and Ivy script. Here it is.
Oh, look.
I found it. I need to go to Nick and Ivy because before the show today, I only had a Miller High Life, which is fine. It gets the job done. It's beer.
Yeah.
It tastes like beer. It's why I like it. I will say, though, today I bought a 6-pack of Modelo. Modelo in High Life Power Rankings, Modelo is leapfrogged.
Modelo's good.
Thanks to you, Rick Camp,
Yep.
the unofficial spokesman of Modelo beer and
When you
crashing
think
parties you're
Modelo-
not supposed to be at.
Right. You think me.
But if you want some high-quality, homemade, small business craft beer, there's no better place to go than Nick and Ivy Brewing Company in Lockport, 1026 South State Street. Paul and Chrissy, they own the joint, and they run it. They operate it. Paul's usually behind the bar with his sweat towel and his beer, and he's chatting everybody up, making everybody feel very, very comfortable and very at home at Nick and Ivy. And that's how I felt there, and Rick felt there. It's a really cool neighborhood place with great craft beer. It's the best of both worlds. Everything you love about your neighborhood bar with some of the best beer you'll ever have, all in the same place. It's a perfect combination. And if you're a huge beer fanatic and a connoisseur, they're going to have something you love. If you're someone like me who's more of a novice, like just give me a lager, give me a sour, give me a Radler, something like that. You know, I'm not the most adventurous, super hoppy, beer-loving guy. They got stuff for people like me too, and everything in between. So go check them out. Nick and Ivy Brewing Company, 1026 South State Street in Lockport, Illinois. Every Tuesday, there's open mic. Every Friday and Saturday, live acts come and play their stage. And there's always going to be sports on TV. Baseball, football, hockey's coming around. Pause for a burp. And a whole lot more. They're always going to be there for you at Nick and Ivy, just like Paul and Chrissy. So go say hi and reminder. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/I'mFatPodcast. Take a picture of your subscription, email it to us, imfatpod@gmail.com, and you'll be entered to win a $100 gift card from Nick and Ivy and an I'm Fat Podcast t-shirt of your choice from imfatmerch.com. So do it. We need 130 more YouTube subscribers. So please, please, please take 5 minutes, go to YouTube, and subscribe to our page. We would really appreciate that.
Yes. So a tradition that I get asked about now. Donut Sundays.
Yes, sir.
Today, because we are recording on Sunday, went to one of my spots that I've talked about on here before, the Donut Experiment in Lombard. For those keeping score at home, 2770 South Highland Avenue. It's on the same side of the street as the patio. It's right across Highland, like from Yorktown Mall. So like the patio's there. Billy Bricks is there. Their PNC Bank that went out is there, but there's like a ramen place and then a sushi place right next to each other, like all in that same area. It's a really good food spot. So if you're watching on the YouTubes, these are the donuts that we created. Sam and I went there, and so for those that maybe missed the first time I talked about it, at the Donut Experiment, they essentially, you get to construct your own donut. You get to choose an icing, a topping, and a drizzle. And it's when you go in there, you just like, there's a tick sheet where it's just like, okay, for this donut, I want this, this, and this. And then you just give them the sheet. They ring you up for how many donuts you have, and you get them. So ours that we got today, and they're all cake donuts, by the way, got the vanilla and fruity pebbles. So vanilla icing and fruity pebbles. The top three were mine. The bottom two were Sam's.
Okay.
The second one that I got was chocolate icing, graham cracker topping,
Ooh.
and caramel for the drizzle. That's
Nice.
really good. Really, really good. And then they also have like a special, like each week they'll have like a special one-off of each type of thing too. So my third one was a caramel icing with chocolate chips and vanilla drizzle.
Yes.
Yeah, that vanilla drizzle was like the weekly special thing. So I don't know if that resets on Sunday or on Monday. I didn't ask. Probably should have. They also have a bunch of drinks. You can get your coffees, your lattes, your frappuccinos, your whatever the hell, because I don't drink coffee, so it's all Greek to me at this point. Sam got strawberry icing, graham cracker topping, and caramel drizzle.
So, oh yeah, that's the one on the bottom right.
That's the one. Yes, that's the one on the bottom right.
Nice.
So that's an interesting combo.
Strawberry, graham cracker, and caramel.
Now this one kind of blew my mind a little bit.
Wait, what was the frosting in hers again?
The frosting was strawberry. So
strawberry frosting, graham crackers. Oh, and caramel drizzle.
Caramel drizzle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that works.
Then she took advantage of the candy bar, the specialty candy bar, which I like the fact on this last donut, you can see that when it's a candy bar, they're not leaving chunks. It's really ground down so that it's not going to cause as much of a mess.
That's a Snickers.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Chocolate. So chocolate icing.
Okay.
Twix.
Ah.
And raspberry drizzle.
Oh. So a salad.
Yeah, exactly. So you get chocolate, you get caramel,
yeah,
you get raspberry, and you get the little bit of almost not quite graham cracker, but like you get the little crunchy aspect too. All of them are fantastic. Like the cake donut is really light. Like if there was a cake donut that actually tastes the most consistency wise like a cake on the inside, it's probably Donut Experiment.
Okay. This is fun. Addie would love this. Well, like,
yeah,
she would love to visit this place. We got to take her here one of these weekends when we don't want to kill her.
And for those that it would take the highway to get to, it is right off of that Highland exit.
Nice.
On 88. So like you go 88 to Highland, and you get towards the mall. Like at that point, if you get off of Highland, you go through that first stoplight, and then you're going to see where Rock Bottom used to be and where Claim Jumper used to be. And then on the other side of the street, you see the patio. Look for the patio, hang a left at the stoplight, and you'll get there.
All right.
So it's awesome. 2770 South Highland.
Excellent. Donut Experiment. We're going. That's it. Speaking of caramel, for years I have been championing Ben & Jerry's Milk and Cookies as the superior Ben & Jerry's flavor. My friend, I have a new champ.
What?
And it's not going to sound that exciting on your radio or your whatever you call this thing, your podcast app. All it is vanilla ice cream with caramel and fudge. It's called Vanilla Caramel Fudge.
Checks out.
But it has huge, like as you dig into the ice cream, you'll find like a silver dollar size pocket of caramel or a silver dollar size pocket of fudge. And your entire spoon is fudge or caramel in that bite, but it's also really well distributed like throughout the ice cream. It's just perfect. And I like some of the, like the milk and cookies, and I like the mint chocolate chip a lot and the ice cream Sammy because it's got like the chunks of the cookies in it, and that's really good. But man, the way that they distribute the caramel and the fudge in this ice cream, it's just perfect. It needs nothing else. It is so simple, and it is so good. I've been having trouble finding it in many places. The one place that has it every time is Meijer, for whatever reason. And then today I found it at the Jewels for the first time. So I don't know if it's a newer sort of a thing, but it's new to me. And I've not seen it everywhere yet. So I don't know if it's new, but it's really damn good. So if you see the Ben & Jerry's vanilla caramel fudge, get some. It's great. It basically is like if you went home and made a sundae with vanilla ice cream, but they did a way better job than you will because they distribute it. It's not like gone as soon as you take the surface off.
Yes.
It's within all the ice cream. It's awesome.
Right.
It's
not.
Good.
It's not like a burrito when you get it where it's like here's this part, here's this part, here's this part.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Which ends up happening. By the way, went to Culver's yesterday.
Oh yeah.
For the BOGO pint deal, and it was funny because so Sam was like, okay, because she had to take care of the dogs. We just gotten home, whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'll go run out. She's like, just call me when you get there, and let me know what the flavors are. So we're going 3 apiece. So I can only imagine what the people working there are thinking while I'm on the phone reading off the custard pint flavors. But hey, whatever. Like, we got the job done, and you know what? We got like 6 pints of ice cream for like $15.
That's a great deal. What did you get?
Oh God. I forget the exact names, but there was like a brownie batter one, a cookie dough, and then the one that I kind of stepped out of my normal a little bit was lemon berry layer cake.
Ooh, how about that's good?
Yeah, so I haven't tried that one yet. I had the Oreo one, which I've had before, the cookie dough one, and it's great. So, and then Sam's one that she tried was like, it was something cappuccino, and she was like, oh my God, this is great. So the flavors are there, plenty of options. I'm telling you, and as our Culver's Insider mentioned, there's some deal at many locations, but the deal may differ based on the location, the franchise, and all that type of thing. So I would say go there, ask what the deal is on Saturdays for the pints of ice cream, and make your judgment from there. Likely, it's going to be cheaper than just getting a concrete of whatever you want. So that's probably the way to go.
That's being frugal. That's all.
Yeah.
That's smart. Good stuff. All right, I keep forgetting about it. I got to just put like a reminder on my phone to do that because. But I did get 2 pints of the vanilla caramel fudge, so I got to get through those first, which should be done.
Oh no!
Probably tomorrow.
Yeah,
it'll probably be gone. Hey, if you're looking for some great food too, out in the Western Burbs, you want to check out our friends at Frato's Culinary Kitchen, 628 South Roselle Road in Schaumburg. Just incredible food. FratosPizza.com, FratosBakery.com. Reminder: if you're going to order online, use that promo code I'm Fat, and you'll save 10% every time you order online at FratosPizza.com. And well, it's been a while since we talked about the I'm Fat products that are offered there. There's the I'm Fat Burger, the I'm Fat Pizza, the I'm Fat Grilled Cheese. It's basically the burger with pulled pork on top, whiskey barbecue sauce, mac and cheese. Brisket, thank you. Mac and cheese on Texas toast. Just killer.
Right. And not just mac and cheese. It's the fact that they give you the sear on the 2 sides of it to try and keep it in there, but also give you a little texture.
Yeah. It's incredible. And the pizza and the grilled cheese are offshoots of those things that are just equally as wonderful. They were a promotional item, but like 2 summers ago.
Yeah.
And
then literally the best selling one they've had. So we got permanent menu status.
That's right. Our logo is on the menu.
Yes.
That's huge. So go visit our logo at Frato's Pizza, 628 South Roselle Road in Schaumburg, FratosPizza.com, FratosBakery.com. Same handles on Instagram, Frato's Pizza and Frato's Bakery. And again, about Frato's Bakery, if you've got an anniversary, birthday coming up for a loved one, boss, something like that, and there's another burp, go to FratosBakery.com and get those brownies and those cookies. They're all killer. And it's and what's great about them is it's the 2-pound box, but every item is individually wrapped, so you don't have to eat all 2 pounds of them in one sitting. Sure. I mean, I would, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
Speaking of 2 pounds, today Hope had a hankering for some wings, and the Jules you ever had those little honey wings, the little honey buffalo wings? I
have not.
They sell them at the deli counter, and it's like a pound is like $8 or $7.99.
Yes,
but 2.5 pounds is $17.99. That's a lot of wings for not a lot of money, and they're awesome. They're really good. So if you ever you're going to a football game party or something, pick up like a bucket of those and bring them, and people are gonna be thrilled. We're getting together, us and you and Sam and her family next weekend. Maybe I'll pick up some. I know I'm not supposed to bring food, but maybe I'll pick up some wings for us. Nice. If Sam will allow it.
Yeah, I'll run it past the boss.
If not, we'll just have them on the way there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh, I actually, now that you say that, You mentioned last week the flavors at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yes.
I went this week as another lunch option. Boneless Thursdays, still not a total price gouge. And got the hot barbecue and the Bulleit Bourbon BBQ.
Oh, how was the Bulleit Bourbon?
It was good. It was more boozy tasting than most things with a booze label on them.
Interesting.
For a sauce. Yeah, like at one point, I think Brett was even like, did they not cook all the booze out of this thing? So like it was still good. Now the hot barbecue, it was like once I got the taste of it again, I was like, oh, I missed this.
Yeah.
This is good. So it was a tough competitor for the Bulleit Bourbon to truly stand out against. But if you like Bulleit, if you like a bourbony flavored barbecue sauce, then that would be a great option for you. And the hot barbecue was just like, it's just really damn good.
Yeah,
and it needs to be permanent.
I don't know how much the Bulleit one interests me. It seems more like a promo than anything.
Could be.
The hot barbecue is great, and if they keep it around, it's going to be in the rotation. I went again this week just to confirm, because last time I went there was Boneless Thursday, so I took advantage of that. But then I realized with that I unlocked like 10 boneless wings, like a lunch.
Nice.
So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go here and get basically a $5 lunch because I'll get a drink and I'll tip the server. So I did that and got the original buffalo, which I love, and then the hot barbecue again. Yeah. And it's really good. It's real good. That's I don't know why after like for the time in my life when I was going there like every week.
That would say 3 days a week.
Yeah, I never got it. I never got the hot barbecue. Weird. All right, we have a ton of Ask-A-Fats. Do you have anything else to get to here?
You know what? I can save this thing for next week.
All right. I got some stuff to save too. So, but let's get people took some time to call us and to write us. So let's make sure we get to all their questions here. So here we go.
Bless me, Father, for I've sinned. It's been 1 week since my last confession.
Okay, my son. What is your confession?
I'm fat.
Ask-A-Fat is brought to you by our buddy, Charlie the Bacon Guy. And here he is with this week's Bacon Report.
Thanks, Jay. This week we have maple pepper, French toast, sriracha, and ranch bacon. Coming soon. Rosemary is making a comeback. Bacon jams are the original, the bourbon, and the pineapple. Thinking about just making a spicy one soon.
Yeah.
Gonna do some more R&D this week. Gonna try some bacon crackers. I'll let you know how those turn out. Keep an eye on the social medias for all that good stuff.
This effing guy.
Until next week, for the Bacon Report, I'm Charlie the Bacon Guy.
Can't fool me. Bacon is crack. Nice try. That sounds good, though. Bacon crackers? Yes. Well, yes, we will help you with that.
Also bacon crack.
Yeah, sure. Whatever. We'll help you with all that R&D you need, Charlie. That's for sure.
Sure.
Want to get some bacon? Get in touch with Charlie. CharlieTheBaconGuy@gmail.com. Charlie the Bacon Guy on Instagram and at CZ the Bacon Guy on Twitter. Send him an email. Let him know what you're interested in. If you want a specific flavor not mentioned in the Bacon Report, if you order enough, he'll make it for you. So get in touch with him. Get your orders in. And a reminder that it makes a great gift. I was talking about Frato's with the anniversary stuff, but Father's Day, Christmas, whatever's coming around, hook it up with a couple pounds of bacon. People are going to be very, very pleased. Really creative, really thoughtful gift, and it freezes up for months. It's good for, I think you said 6 months?
Yes.
In the freezer?
Yep, 6 months in the freezer, yes.
And I will say, I have found bacon in my freezer from Charlie that is in there for more than 6 months, and it's fine. I think he has to say that, like, conservatively. But there's some I lost track of, and I'm like, oh, yes, there's some Charlie bacon. Let's cook it up, and it's perfect. It's every pack is vacuum sealed, so you don't have to worry about it going bad or anything like that. It's great. Get some. CharlieTheBaconGuy@gmail.com, at CharlieTheBaconGuy on Instagram, at CZTheBaconGuy on Twitter. All right, we have a trio of voicemails today, so let's get to them.
Hey, guys. Hank Hill-Ass, Jake here from Algonquin. Started listening to the podcast about 3 years ago. Finally caught up to the latest episode, as I like to go in order. So I have a food recommendation I've been wanting to share. Listen to every single episode to see if it was brought up, and it wasn't, so here it goes. Mr. D's Shish Kebabs, 6656 West Diversey in Chicago. This is a no frills, kind of real Chicago fast food place. Only 3 employees, a husband, wife, and a son. They kind of run the show there every single day. Every time I've been there for I don't know how many years. It's a limited menu that's like executed perfectly. My favorite is the shish kebab sandwich. That's kind of what they're famous for. And the steak sandwich. I mean, this steak sandwich is the best in Chicago, bar none. And, the fresh cut fries, if you walk in, multiple awards on the wall for fries. They are fantastic. I think they're the best in the city. You could fight me for about that. All the food is perfectly paired with a ice cold RC pack. I live 2 blocks away from Mr. D's and ate there. Tried to at least once a week for many years. Moved out to the burbs, but every time I go back to the city, I make it a point to stop and get to Mr. D's. Love the podcast. Keep it up, guys.
All right, I'm looking at Mr. D's here on Google Maps. It's on Diversey and Normandy. If you're not super familiar with that like kind of area of streets, it is 2 blocks east, actually 2 full blocks east of Oak Park Avenue. And if you're on, what is that here? What highway is this? Oh, so it's like Diversey in Harlem, like just east of Harlem. You can't miss it. I'm going to check this out. I feel like I've been here.
Okay.
But I've not eaten there. I mean, but like I've been in the area and just maybe not noticed it because it looks kind of like it's kind of subtle when you look at it. It's like it's just all white walls with just one little sign. So I'll check that out. And a shish kebab is not something I've like gotten via fast food before.
No.
Interesting.
That's interesting.
I'm very intrigued now.
See, I'm very intrigued.
Yes, I might have to find my way to Mr. D's. And I'll see the rest of the gang from Different Strokes.
Right.
There's a joke for old people. All right, next voicemail here. I forget their name, but here they are.
Hey there, Rick and Jay. It's Mark Fishman, your favorite design guy. Just wanted to let you guys know that Unshaven Comics, my comic book studio, recently went to Atlanta for the famous Dragon Con comic book convention. On our way home, we stopped at the, I guess I would say nation famous. I wouldn't say world famous, but, you know, it's been around. It's kind of viral. The Buc-ee's gas station and convenience megamart. They're known for having some really great foodstuffs, and I just wanted to report, 100% true. Matt and I each tried one of their scrambled egg and brisket tacos because we went there in the morning, and they were good. I'm not much for brisket in the morning, as I found out, but it was still tasty. And I will say they had the most impressive fountain, like offerings for drinks. It's not quite like a Coke Freestyle machine, but imagine effectively about 28 nozzles of various sugar delivery in liquid form. If you're a fan of jerky, they have about 100 flavors on one wall. Matt got a couple, and he has reported all of them to be very good. And I got a bag of, what are they called? It's like Bucky Bites or something like that. They're these little, like kind of a corn pop thing, effectively like a puffed corn that is then coated in sugar. And, that did not last long in my house. So if anybody happens to be out on the roads, probably in the South, if you see a Buc-ee's, go there.
Yeah, we stopped at Buc-ee's on the way down when we drove to Florida back in March of 22. March of 22, we drove down to Florida for Grandma Cookie's 100th birthday. And we stopped in a Buc-ee's. And it's a thing, man. Like everything Mark described is accurate. Oh, sorry. Wait, it was Mark. I gotta do he's made himself with all the work he does for us. He's bellworthy. Everything he says, but like he's right. There's like a wall of fountains. And they've got a Coke one and they've got a Pepsi one. And everything Pepsi makes, everything Coke makes, and you could just go like down the line and make, what did we call it, a kamikaze as a kid or whatever? When you just fill up like all the pops. Yeah, and then the food there is great, but it's like so it's also a gas station, and there's probably 50 pumps.
Wow.
And then you walk in, and it's about the half
They
the
are
size.
not one pump chumps.
No, and you walk in, it's like probably half the size of a Walmart, and you can buy like kitschy shit for your house, like Live, Laugh, Love, or Beach This Way, like that kind of stuff, or like a what do you call it? A
I hope
deconstructed
you're
mop.
actually the best. But yeah, the best part is you're not completely trolling my ex, but you are.
No, I'm not. I would never. But that kind of stuff. And then they've got like, if you need it in the world, it's at Buc-ee's, and they've got their own like clothing stuff. It's really a cool place. But they're Texas, Florida. I think there's some in Tennessee, but I think like Tennessee is like the northernmost Buc-ee's.
Okay.
So if that tells you if that's the northern end of Buc-ee's. But they are a trip. If you see one, go. Because even if none of the things interest you, it's just a place you got to check out. It's quite amazing. All right, last voicemail here.
Hey there, it's me, Bobby D. This guy Grimace, I really want to meet up with him sometime because it sounds like he lives out here in the western suburbs. But as far as the donut chase on Sunday mornings, I highly recommend Fresh Donuts. It's in Geneva. It's on the east side, right off of Kirk Road, right by the McDonald's. And I'm telling you, their apple fritter is to die for. And everything else is good. Plus they do that, hot sandwiches. So, hey, Rick, check it out. You guys have a nice day.
All right.
Well, good. I have something else to add to the list.
And that's not far from you. And I was looking at their Google page as Bobby was talking there, and they do have like bacon, egg, and cheese croissants and all kinds of stuff in a big donut case. So, yeah, check that out, Rick.
Fresh donut. I'm literally adding it to the note that we share on the phone.
Donut places to try.
Now.
Yeah,
Yep,
I started this week. I started this week movies to watch.
Nice.
With like a bunch of classics I've never seen.
That's
kind of
good.
Embarrassing how many classics I've never seen.
Oh, dude, I'm the same way. Like, it took me forever, like longer than I'd like to admit, to see Goodfellas, and now I've seen it like 7 million times.
It's a great one.
It's It's one of the best movies ever. So
has Sam seen it?
No.
Dude, you should watch it with her. It's a really fun experiment. The first time I watched it with Hope, she's like, wow, we should be in the mafia. I go, give it a half hour.
Yeah, exactly.
She's like, okay, let's never be in the mafia. I'm like, yeah, exactly. No, let's not do that.
Yeah, there's like a list of movies. Like, I wanted to because she said she likes heists. So I was like,
oh, nice.
Okay, Ocean's movies, maybe. And I think that might be a no. Also, there's not a free place to stream that's not like that on a streaming service that I have. So I'm like, okay, well, that one's kind of out. But yeah, there's a list of movies that I want her to be able to see.
So here's what started my me wanting to start watching movies is I watched The Sting, which is Paul Newman and Robert Redford. It came out in 1973. You've seen the cover of this movie. It looks like a Rockwell painting. It's here, I'll pull it up for you. Hang on one second. Open image in new tab as old man produces on the fly. Share screen.
Oh yes.
You know this movie.
That.
So that's a heist, right? Like that's kind of the idea of that movie. It's like a caper kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Has she seen The Departed?
I don't know.
Okay, so that's not really a heist, but there's a ton going on.
Yes.
That's a great one. But so like I was so ashamed of some of the movies I've never seen. Like I've never seen Jaws.
You were friends with Nick Shepkowski and had never seen Jaws?
That might be why. I've never seen Alien or any of the Alien movies.
I am actually in the same boat as you on that.
I've never seen Blade Runner. I've never seen No Country for Old Men. I've never seen Seven. What are some of the other like classics?
I have also not seen Seven.
Untouchables I've never seen. I've never seen Heathers. I've never seen a single John Wick movie. So there's a bunch of these.
You're missing my guy Bobon. Bobon's in John Wick 3.
All right, well, I'll get there. It's on the list.
Spoiler alert, he doesn't survive.
Oh, no. Say it ain't Bobon.
Right.
All right, that's I did 3, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're good.
All right, good. All right, that's the voicemails. If you want to leave us one, 708-858-3314, or you can shoot us an email at imfatpod@gmail.com.
Ask a fat about this and that. It's time to chat with the fats.
All right, let's start with Nolan in LaPorte, Indiana. Nolan, by the way, was one of the names being considered had my daughter been a boy. There you go. Fun fact. Hey, Fats, just wallowing in depression due to the state of Chicago teams. So I figure, why not think about my possible demise? If you were on death row and set to be executed soon, what would you choose for your final meal? So many choices, so little time, and being deprived for so long of the amazing foods that has made me the size I am. But for me, I'd have to go with a beautiful medium rare ribeye, au gratin potatoes, mac and cheese, and a couple pints of Ben & Jerry's Tonight Dough, and a couple of 2 liters of RC to wash it down. I'll hang out now and listen to your response. Fat and ain't easy. That's from Nolan in LaPorte. Now, this is, I think about this a lot. Like, do you want your last meal to be your favorite place? Or do you want, like, the most, like, extravagant?
Right.
For me, the way my brain works is I want this one last time.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Like, I would, but it wouldn't be a logical meal. I'd be like, I want this from here and this from there, like this, and it wouldn't necessarily be my fast food combo meals that I've made in the past.
Yeah,
but just, you know, I would probably want like Pal Joey's pizza, but I would also want like when my mom makes steak and she like really seasons the hell out of it. Like with Montreal steak seasoning or whatever it ends up being, like I would go nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like with that there's a few things that I really want in my life. A slice of French silk pie from Baker Square.
That's pretty
And by
good.
slice, I mean a pie.
An entire pie.
Yes.
I mean, you have nothing to go. You have nothing to lose. So
right.
For me, we're kind of on the same track. I would like a Thanksgiving meal.
Okay.
You know, turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, the way my mom used to make it when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have Roseangela's pizza, of course. And then I think I would have, it is a chocolate buttercream cake from Orland Bakery.
Okay.
It's my favorite cake in the world. I would actually probably have that between the 2 meals because I'd want the last thing I ate to be Roseangela's.
Okay.
Just like, that's how I'm going out. Right?
Yeah.
So
that's your aperitif.
yes, exactly. The cake is the aperitif.
Yeah.
Or no, the pizza is the aperitif. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. What difference does it make?
Right.
This way, with all this food in my belly, I'll crap all over whoever decided to execute me.
Exactly. Yep. You're just setting up the one last F you can give the world.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. This one from our guy Lance Levine. Gents, I heard on a podcast about the Loch Ness Monster that the loch itself is 750 feet deep and 23 miles long. And the experts stated that it is so big, the entire population of the world could fit in it. And my first thought was, what about the fats?
Well, maybe a few. But if they're calculating the entire population of the world, they're certainly factoring in Americans who are mostly fat. True. So I think we're good.
Yeah, and you're clearly and all the water has to be out, so our ability to be buoyant is kind of ruined. So that's one thing we have in our bag that isn't really utilized.
Yeah, it's interesting. It explains why they can't find a Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, right.
I guess they sent like an entire like group of people out to look again, but then it was like this
they the same Florida people that are looking for pythons to kill for money?
Oh God, probably. But boy, it's the whole Loch Ness thing is interesting. Like that was like their entire economy, and now that people are kind of like, well, it's probably not real. People have stopped going, and people in Scotland are like just begging people to come visit Loch Ness. It's kind of sad, actually.
That is sad.
Yeah. One of my favorite podcasts, last podcast on the left, they talk, they deal a lot in cryptids, and they talk about Loch Ness a lot, and it's like, this one, even they're kind of like, this one's probably not real.
Yeah.
So, what I did learn though, Rick Camp, is that the platypus was once on the same fringe of like Chupacabra and like Bigfoot. People thought that the platypus was fake and made up until they found it.
Really?
Yes. So there you go. You never know.
That is interesting.
It's like aliens. They're fake until they're not.
Right. And you know what they're definitely not?
Cake. I saw that and thought of you.
Yep.
As always.
Oh, it got sent to me a few times. That's for sure.
Yeah. By the way, I think I've said this before, but if you don't believe in aliens, you're a damn fool.
Yes.
I mean, come on. Of course. Okay. This one comes from Robert. He says, I have a friend coming in town, and we're both huge fans of the podcast. We have a day we're going to dub Fatter Day, obviously on a Saturday. We're looking for you guys to pick our spots for the day. Make it glorious, make it fat. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert. We'll pick the meals and report back. Based in or around the western southern burbs, we will go big and then go home fat and happy. All right, so the western burbs thing, I guess that's going to eliminate the city.
Yeah.
All right, so
I think we're in double digits on burps now. We have to be.
I also have the hiccups, which is not ideal.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah, things are not great.
Or great, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, it's not going well, and I regret having a Pepsi and a beer before the show. I won't do that again, maybe. Now, see, you're my, I guess the southern. All right, here's what we'll say. One of these meals.
Yes.
It could be any of them. Chuck Southern Comforts Cafe.
Yes.
They've got incredible breakfast, but
Yes, they
everything
do.
they have on their menu is great. So I would look at their menu and say, what on this is grabbing my attention, and go for it. If it's a Saturday, and I know it's been a while since I've been to Chuck's, and someone told me that they don't have Cochinita on Saturdays anymore, but I've not been able to confirm that.
Okay.
See if on Saturday they've got the Cochinita Pibil. If they do, go there for lunch or dinner. But their breakfast is also incredible. Right. So
you can get the best beignets outside in New Orleans that I've ever had.
And those are also like a week, on a certain day of the week.
Okay.
So make sure on those. But just the standard menu item stuff is great anyway.
Yeah, jambalaya is my go-to.
Yeah, so that'll be the jambalaya is awesome, and that's every day. So all right, we'll throw that in as like a bonus pick.
Okay.
Because he can go pretty much anywhere there.
That's the flex spot?
The flex spot, yes.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how far south he's going to go.
Right. This is a big responsibility.
It really is. So dessert, southern burbs, western burbs. Like Sweet Mandy B's is really good.
Yeah. Also, it kind of depends on what type of dessert you want, because there's great ice cream options. Now, Geneva's really far west, but Graham's is fantastic over on 3rd Street in Geneva.
Yeah.
I think that's a good option, depending on how far west you want to go. Yeah, I mean, even depending on which, it's on a Saturday. Okay, so that Gnarly Knots is also a great option that could fit a few different meals.
Yeah, I like that for lunch.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's more of a lunch option. Now, it sucks that it's Saturday instead of Friday. Check their Facebook page, because they always have a different special every Saturday, so that's a fun twist. But quick side, I had the chili cheese dog again on Friday, and oh my god, it's just as amazing as the first time I had it. So That's a great Friday lunch option for people. But on a Saturday, I mean, still, all their standard stuff is fantastic. So I think that's a good option as well.
It's tough to. You're giving us a very big swath of the map. So here's what we'll recommend. Go to our social media pages, click the link tree on there, and go to the I'm Fat map.
Yes.
And just pull up the map and pick what looks good.
Yeah, do some scouting ahead of time, because there's a lot of options. But if something at one of these places, you'll read it and be like, oh yeah, that.
Yes, exactly. But you make one of them Chucks. That's for sure. Can't go wrong.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay. Next one is from CB in the Bay Area. Says he has 3 things to say.
Okay.
1, talking about the best deal at McDonald's. If you download the app, you can get a large iced coffee for $1.
Nice.
The coffee's huge. Also, if you go to the rewards section, there's an option to double your points if you buy something during breakfast time. So you can get a free coffee at the end of your work week.
Beautiful. Love that.
Yeah. 2, every McDonald's that I go to in the early morning has a group of old guys, 70s to 90s, chatting away for hours on end. They come every day, same bat time, same bat channel. My question is, does this happen around you guys? And if so, how many show?
You know, what's really funny about this is towards the end of his life, my grandpa, he had macular degeneration. So he had to stop driving. He couldn't drive anymore. So he would literally, at the time they were living at like 104th and Kilpatrick in Oak Lawn. Okay. And there was a White Castle on 95th in Cicero. And he would walk to Cicero Avenue and take the bus every day and meet his buddies, and they would sit at White Castle and they would just drink coffee and talk all day. And I think this is just a thing that older men do to like hang out and reminisce and like talk about the old time. Like, it's funny. I think about that a lot. Like, as I get older, like, man, it's gotta be strange to see like your friends just like drop off.
Yeah.
You know, and like you want to kind of make the best of the time you have left. And I think that's kind of the mindset there is like, hey, let's go and just talk about our lives and like what's interesting. As I saw, actually, Hope showed me this thing yesterday at breakfast. There's this group of men that go out and one of the men prints an agenda of like, like an agenda of the conversation.
Do they follow parliamentary procedure?
Yeah, the Robert's rules. Yeah, they do all that
was
stuff.
Was this a good joke? All right, all in favor?
Yeah.
Opposed?
Exactly. No, it's funny. Like, I'm actually getting choked up thinking about it because it was just such my grandpa's thing. And every time I drive past that White Castle, I think of that. But yeah, anytime I walk into a McDonald's in the morning, there is a group of men sitting there drinking coffee and just chatting the day away.
Yeah.
And I hope someday that I'll get to do that. It sounds great. Quite frankly.
Yeah, right. Like that's the biggest thing you have to plan for in a day. That is absolutely a win. Okay, and there was a third part.
Yes.
Third question. I'll keep this one short. What's the fanciest dessert that you had?
Okay.
Or as it actually says, what's the fanciest dessert that you had?
I've had a fancy dessert.
Had to pay extra for that.
This was like right before COVID. We went out for a friend's birthday, and I got this too for my birthday about 5 months prior. At Uncle Julio's Hacienda, they bring out like you ever have a Lindor truffle?
Yeah,
okay.
Yes, I have.
So imagine like a Lindor truffle, but it's the size of like a soccer ball.
Oh, wow.
And then it's like hanging on a rope, and then they give you a stick, and you have to break the truffle with the stick, and then it pours out fudge and fruit, and like you eat the chocolate shell, and it's like chocolate covered strawberries and like pineapple. It all like pops out of this this candy.
It's a piñata, basically.
Yeah, it is like a chocolate piñata. Yes. Like a hard candy shell. You have to break the chocolate shell, and then all this great stuff pops out of it. Maybe that's like poor people fancy, but to me, that's the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah. For me, it's the creme brulee at Gibson's.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
That was, and mind you, I only had that once, and I had it because I wasn't paying. Because like it's fantastic, but man, Gibson's can be a stretch. But that was the day that I went with Lawrence Holmes and Tony Gill for Tony's first time of having an actual steak.
Yes.
And realizing it's not the same as Outback. Which is the most Tony thing ever.
I love that.
Yep.
I love that dude. Was he there yesterday? Was he at Lawrence's party?
He was.
Nice.
He was there. I got to talk with his wife, Stephanie. Then that was
She's
cool.
She's gonna be due soon, right?
Very soon.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of in the window now. Like the early edges of the window.
Okay.
We're not breaking any confidences because he literally live streamed the gender reveal.
Yes.
So So that was a thing.
Dude, did you see that one where
they've got a girl coming?
Did you see the gender reveal with the airplane?
Oh, no. No, I did
No,
not.
seriously, like the dude died. Like they had like a crop duster fly over, not that someone who farts in a store, but like the airplane that like drops the dust on the cornfields, and they did like a gender reveal. So the plane flies over, drops the dust, and then it like pulls up to go, but it like overdoes it, and the wing literally breaks off, and the plane crashes, and the pilot dies.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's all over social media. It's awful. I mean, you don't see any. All you do is like see the plane and the wing pops off, and then you just see fire. It's not great, but holy shit. Just tell people.
Right.
Anyway, next one here comes from Nate from Lakeview with another McDonald's breakfast app hack. All right. He says, I think I've got McDonald's breakfast mastered here. Using the app, I get 2 sausage McMuffins, $2, 2 hash browns, $2, 2 packets of grape jam, free, a large Diet Coke. I don't really like McDonald's coffee. I then construct the breakfast Big Mac. Take the 2 sausage McMuffin buns with cheese, put a hash brown in between them, take the discarded English muffin buns, and put the grape jam on them, and enjoy for under $6.
Dude.
That is inspired.
It really is.
Wow.
Holy crap.
That's inspired. That's truly inspired. I love it. All right. That's from Nate. I'm telling you, just get in the habit though. Seriously, like with the McDonald's app, you can plug your credit card into it. Mm-hmm. So you can go to the drive-thru, even if you're not using a reward, and just say, I've got a drive-thru code. All right, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Okay, Jay, pull through. And then you don't have to hand them a credit card at all. They just give you your receipt. It just charges right from the app. And then you rack up the reward points like crazy. And they fill fast. Like, I've got like 13,000 rewards points.
Wow.
Burp.
I think we're up to a dozen at least.
Yeah, definitely. Is it my turn to read or yours?
I think this is actually still the same email. I think it's like a part deux.
Oh, part deux. Okay, so here's part deux. He says, also, I know you guys are also known as the Chicken Tendy Boys. I need to hear what you guys think about Village Tavern Grill in Schaumburg. Flaky tenders, very tender. But what makes these is the homemade honey mustard sauce. Lastly, I got a spot for Philly cheese for you in Lincoln Square. Monty's. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Village Tavern. Why do I feel like I've been there?
Because you probably have. I spoke about it. I think it's been within the last year because I've gone there with Sam's family and then I've gone there with Sam. And
is that when you destroyed their toilet?
No, that was not when I destroyed the toilet.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. We won't get into details.
You talked about it on this show.
I know. No, I know. Yes. No, I was going to go too much into the details. So I was more telling myself, stop.
Oh, yeah. Good restraint.
Yeah. Yes. But no, I've talked about Village Tavern. They have probably the best chicken tenders in the area.
Okay.
And the honey mustard sauce is I'm not the biggest honey mustard guy. Like it's just when barbecue's an option and the barbecue sauce isn't terrible.
Yes.
I'm going to choose that over honey mustard, but their honey mustard is fantastic. It's a very good tender. One of the best that I've had.
All right.
And they're huge.
Okay. But Schaumburg, Frato's.
I know. And they also have very good tenders.
Oh, he also adds, P.S. We still got Bedard. Yes, we did get Connor Bedard. Yes. Did you? I know it's been around, but did you
I've seen the highlights.
Did you? I mean, so here's the thing for hockey navi. Is that the pearl of novices? I don't know. What he does
fucking deal
is he's a big effing deal. He has been a featured prospect since he was 14. He would have been the number 1 overall pick at 16 if he was eligible, and at 17. Well, he was 17 when he was picked, but technically he'll be 18 when he enters the NHL. Already, maybe the best shot release in the NHL already, if not like top 2 or 3.
Oh, wow.
And if you go and watch those highlights of the 3 goals that Connor Bedard scored on Saturday in the Prospects game, and yes, it was a Prospects game, I understand that. He has an ability to change the angle of the shot in very short order. So you'll watch him imagine a hockey player shooting a puck, right? And the stick's out to his side and he follows through. Bedard has the ability to pull the puck in close to him and still get it off. So from a goalie standpoint, that change of like 2 or 3 feet, that quick is very hard to react to. and you'll see goalies look like dumbfounded when a shot gets there. Like, I think of the 3 goals he scored, 2 of them the goalie was like, what just happened? Did I just get scored on? Like, they don't even see it. So he is going to be incredible. Like, I know people are already like, I'm already so tired of hearing about him. Like, okay, just wait.
Okay, just watch.
I'm going to predict that when his career is over, he will be the best Blackhawk to ever play for the Blackhawks.
Wow. Maybe not necessarily the most accomplished. There's more context needed for that, but in terms, like, from a team perspective.
In personal performance?
Yes, in personal performance.
Yes, I think he will end his career as long as there's no kind of crazy contract disputes, which...
That's why I hate the NHL so much for their stupid hard cap and all the...
Whatever they do, they will build around him.
Yeah.
And he also doesn't seem like the guy who's going to hold a franchise hostage for an extra couple, 100,000. Yeah. But he's going to be, at some point, one of the 2 or 3 highest paid players in the league, and rightfully so. Yeah. So,
Well, yeah, I'm a novice, but when I hear best prospect since McDavid, that's an eye raiser.
Yes.
And for you, it's more than an eye raiser.
Well, you can kind of tell if you look closely. Yeah.
Magnifying glass. All right. This one from Kevin. Hi, guys. I was making my weekly run to the Jewels today, and in the checkout line, I picked up a couple new mystery pops. First one is the 2023 Mountain Dew Voodoo. It also sounds like a car. This one is pretty good. It has a very familiar taste, but I can't quite put my finger on it, and it's really bothering me. Maybe cherry Airheads?
Okay.
Interesting. The second is Coke Y3000. Why are pops making car names now? That's my editorial.
Weird.
This one was terrible, and I couldn't finish the bottle. At least for me, all these new limited edition Coke flavors have not been good. Has there ever been one you guys liked? I would be interested in your opinion on these 2 mystery flavors and what the voodoo flavor reminds you of. Keep up the good work.
I'm not the biggest Mountain Dew guy, I'll be honest. I'll try it, though, for show research. Yeah, I don't know. What was the Coke they came, like Dreamland or Dream something Coke?
Oh, yeah.
And that was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really motivated.
Really like the vanilla stuff. I know that's more Dr. Pepper, but like it worked enough for Coke to where people that really love vanilla. I'm not the biggest on vanilla in the pop and whatever. Like if it's like a root beer float, then sure, but that's about it.
Yeah. Like I get cherry Coke, vanilla Coke, fine. But when they're making these like whole new concoctions, like I have not loved them. But I will give them a shot. For science. All right, I think this is the last one, and this is a long one, Tony, but thank you. It says, hello, Fats. I write in today to tell you about my fattest day ever. Last week, I successfully consumed pizza for all 3 meals in a day by accident. Let me break down each greasy scenario. Breakfast. My wife and I woke up late, and neither of us were in the mood to cook a proper breakfast, so we went out to our usual lazy option, which is breakfast pizza from Casey's. Sidebar, Casey's are popping up more and more often in the burbs, and their pizza is pretty good. I like to think of them more like a pizza place that sells gas rather than a gas station with quality pizza. Breakfast sausage, bacon, scrambled egg, and nacho cheese on a pizza is a great way to start this fantastic day. You're right. I know there's a new Casey's in like Darien or maybe Bolingbrook. I forget exactly where I saw it, but there is one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's right by Bolingbrook Mall.
Okay.
Okay, lunch. I found myself at Fox Valley Mall running errands with my wife. Much to my surprise, the mall is full of stores and people, just like it was year 2001. This also included a fully functional food court. As far as I'm concerned, there was only one option in the food court, Sbarro. That is correct. I, like a lot of folks my age, worked in a mall, and Sbarro pizza is just what I did for lunch 9 times out of 10. I can confirm the pizza was just as greasy and delicious as I remember it.
Nice.
Dinner. I attended a birthday party for one of my friends, and they said they were going to provide the food. What did they order for the entire party? You guessed it, pizza. Pizza is the easiest and cheapest way to feed a large group of people, so I can't be mad. It wasn't until I was 3 pieces deep until I realized I had just completed the pizza trifecta and ate nothing but pizza for an entire day. Sorry for the long email, but I feel my tale of fatness needed to be told. Have you guys ever ate the same thing 3 times in one day? Love the show. Thanks.
I don't know about 3, but if I've done like a 2-meal day, I've definitely done it for a 2-meal day.
I've done it recently. I've had ramen twice in a day very recently.
There you go.
I'm like 98% ramen now. Oh, and I have an assignment for our listeners.
Okay.
If anyone's been to Woo's Ramen, let me know if it's good or not. They're popping up everywhere. Like there's Woo's restaurant, like I forget what it's called, like Woo's House, I think it's called. And that's like a Chinese food.
Woo's House.
Run's house. But then it was, now Woo's Ramen are popping up. Are they good? Let me know. I'm fatpod@gmail.com because I'm trying to find something local.
Yeah.
But
it's good to know Kenny Wu has been successful after his stint with the Ducks and Team USA.
Yeah. And his brother, Ronnie Wu, also doing well. He's back, man.
Is he?
I don't know why, but he's back.
Oh, we don't need that.
No, we sure don't.
No, we don't. You know what we also don't need? More of this podcast right now.
Well,
I think we're about done.
First, I got to tell people about Mazda of Orland Park, where I buy my
drive away from this podcast.
Drive away from the podcast. That's exactly right. Go visit them where, you guessed it, Orland Park. 8910 West 159th Street, 708-444-3200, Mazda of OrlandPark.com. I told the story last week about our great service experience. Yes. Wonderful stuff. But let me tell you about the Mazdas themselves. I bought a 2015 CX-5. Loved it so much. I got a 2022 CX-30, and they are the two best, most reliable, most fun to drive cars I've ever owned. And I've owned a bunch of, Jeeps and Toyotas and all sorts of different stuff. And I will be a Mazda customer for life. And yes, they're great cars, but Mazda of Orland Park and their service really just nails it home. So check them out. Give a call to our pal Eric Vates, 708-444-3200, Mazda of OrlandPark.com. All right, let's let people off the hook.
All right, follow us on all of our social media at I'mFatPod, I'mFatPod@gmail.com. Check out the Patreon if you feel so inclined, and I'mFatMerch.com for all of our merch that we have going on. And if there's not a sale right now, blink. It might be one after that. If not, shortly after. YouTube.com/I'mFatPodcast. We're like 130 away from 1,000, and then we might stop bothering you for a little bit. So if that's not incentive enough, I mean, come on, let's get that done. Also, subscribe to the regular podcast feed. Like all the videos. That's what I forgot. I knew there was something I was forgetting. Like all the videos as well. That helps us out too. And then subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, unsubscribe, and resubscribe to the regular podcast feed to help us juke the numbers so we get boosted in the ratings because everybody else is doing it. So we kind of have to join in.
Sure.
And leave the old 5-star rating and review. We've gotten some ratings lately. Thank you very much. If anybody would want to add a review too, that would be spectacular. And the best thing you could do is check out our sponsors, Charlie the Bacon Guy, Mazda of Orland Park, Frato's Culinary Kitchen, and Nick and Ivy Brewing. So for Jay, I'm Rick, and this is the I'm Fat Podcast.
French toast, grilled cheese, and ham sandwich.